Okay, welcome back. They're giving a couple of aircraft their approach vectors right now. They just gave an AirTrain aircraft their approach, and Southwest 786 is receiving their approach clearance as well. So I think they're telling us to turn to heading 275 and expect Vector's ILS runway 28 left on San Francisco, which is one of their very closely grouped left and right runways. But I'm going to ask them to repeat their instructions.
Delta 557, north 690 miles southeast, turn left heading 275, Vector's ILS, runway 28 left approach.
Okay, so I'm going to dial in heading 275 and hit heading select, and we'll go ahead and bank. And we can acknowledge our approach. So we're expecting runway 28 left, so I'm going to dial that in the departure and arrivals page and hit execute. So that should have added a bunch of legs to our leg page. And now we have a route discontinuity as a result because it just added them on top of what we already had. So I'm going to eliminate that discontinuity by simply replacing some of the waypoints with our next waypoint. Now I'm just going to go directly to runway 28 left and forget about the other waypoints that are part of that approach because we're going to be vectored in by ATC. So we've been told to turn to 310, and we're now below 18,000 feet. We'll switch our altimeter there, and once we make this turn, we're now 60 nautical miles away from the airport. Once we make this turn, whoops, forgot to dial in the descent to 6,000 feet. So we're going to have to really boogie here. There goes Flitch.
Level change.
There's another airspeed constraint that we must be at 250 knots or below at 10,000 feet or below. So we'll deal with that when we come to it. We're at 15,500 feet right now, so we'll just keep our eye on that. In terms of the ILS frequency, it's listed right here. It's 109.55, and the flap speeds for landing will be we're going to do flaps 30 at 133 knots. So we'll set that. And the runway heading is 282. So we'll be landing to the west-northwest at 133 knots, which is about 155 miles per hour. And we'll want to go ahead and set the frequency here so that we can pick up the ILS 109.55 with a front course of 282. Okay, and we're going through 13,000 feet right now. I'm going to go ahead and set the bank limit to 25 from auto, and we're at 12,000 feet, so we'll want to watch the altimeter, but I want to go ahead and do our approach briefing. You can see we have a pretty severe nose-down attitude right now, but let's go ahead and do the brief. And I'm going to select auto brake 2, and let's see. Okay, let's go.
Ready for the brief?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like radar is going to be going hands-on today. We can expect heading and altitudes as assigned by ATC. As for the approach,
7.15, Delta 557.
okay, we can expect ATC assigned headings and altitudes all the way down to final. As for the runway condition,
Okay, thanks.
let's
Cabin
drive.
secure.
For the auto brake, I'll use auto brake 2 with max
Go ahead and
reverse.
set the auto
Any
brake.
questions?
No.
Approach briefing complete.
Okay. Okay, and we're headed for 10,000 feet here, so I'm going to go ahead and set the speed to 245, and you can see we're not going to get as good a vertical descent rate, vertical speed rate rather, because the aircraft will need to pitch up in order to slow down. It's contact Monterey approach here. I'm going to go ahead and deploy the speed brake right now, which will destroy the lift of the aircraft and enable us to achieve a higher vertical descent rate, and will also make our slowdown more efficient. You can see now we're slowing down really quickly, and our vertical speed is actually increasing, or rather the absolute value of it is increasing. We've almost slowed down to 245 knots now. We're actually going to keep the speed brake on even as we reach 245 knots, because we want to expedite our descent as much as possible. Now you can see the diamond. We're actually above where we need to be. We want the diamond. We want to be in line with the diamond, but the diamond should start rising to the middle point here soon enough.
134.5, Delta 557.
Let's see. And we are now 34 nautical miles away. We're running into some mountainous terrain here. Tuning to bay approach. We could, at this point, go ahead and do our approach checklist. I'm going to bug the speeds here and set our landing altitude, which is 13 feet, I think, above sea level for SFO.
1,000 to go.
Check.
Okay. Once we level off, I'm going to set the speed brake to. I'm going to undeploy the speed brake, but basically set it so that it will automatically redeploy once we hit the pavement, and that'll help slow down the aircraft and increase the contact between the tires and the runway, and facilitate the braking process. Let's take a quick break here, and then we'll come back and do the approach checklist.